All right, I'm gonna give some thoughts that I got. This is just my random opinion, just on Absolver and just fighting games in general. To be honest, I just had like I don't want to say theory. It's not a theory. It's just more just of a thought. I was thinking like I don't know, like when it comes to fighting games, I feel as though that it could be a more popular genre if like they go like they get more creative in the ways they go about making the games. And what I mean when I say that, like instead of just following the old school formula, of a fighting game or whatever, like Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat, which is like which stuff like Absolver and For Honor, they kind of broke that. They kind of broke that whole paradigm of just having a regular fighting game type shit. Like they got a whole 3D, did a 3D shit going on first of all, and then they got the stance system. You know what I mean? Like the whole stance system shit. That was new to me. That was something new to me. Absolver and For Honor kind of introduced. That's when I was first introduced to that whole system of fighting in the game. Was these two games, Absolver and For Honor? And I think those two games came out the same year, if I'm not even mistaken. I'm not sure if they what the whole correlation between those two are, but maybe it's just a coincidence. But anyway, I digress. That's a topic for another video. But those two games kind of introduced the whole stance fighting mechanic to me. When you switch stances and stuff like that, and you block, certain moves and shit. Y'all don't play this shit. Y'all know what I'm saying. But anyway, I say all that to say this: like these games have already kind of broken the whole paradigm, the whole basic traditional fighting game thing, which is cool. But it's like I feel like to be competitive though, um, these are all innately competitive games. We're all competing innately, but like I'm talking about like, in game terms. See, the majority of the fighting game community, the majority of any game community, are casual players. That's just a fact. That's the fact you know of games, nigga. Like the majority of people that play games are casual. Playing a game is a casual good thing. Like playing a game is a casual thing. It's like it's not so serious type shit. But you have the subculture, the the part of the community which I'm in, which a lot of us are in. We are part of the subculture of the competitive gamers. People that we play the game for fun, but the fun to us is to compete against other people and to like just test your mettle, see how just test how good you are against people that are good. And you know that culture of people, they want the games to be a certain way. I'm gonna explain what I mean. Like, okay, I'm gonna talk about Absolver for a second. See, I played Absolver on console, and I played it a little bit on Plus too. I played some on Plus, so I know all about console. I know everything there is to know about Absolver on console. And on Plus, I know the basics of Plus. So, you know what I mean? There's still some intricacies and details about Plus that maybe I'm not so privy to, or I'm not like so accustomed to yet as of now. But as far as the basics of how Plus operates and works, I know all about that. I read the tips and everything. So I talked to a couple of people, and I know everything there is to know basically about Absolver Plus. And when it comes to Absolver on console, I know everything there is to know. Everything, tech, intricacy, anything you ask me, anything about this shit, console wise, and I can tell you. But I say all that just to give myself credit, just to let y'all know that I'm not what I'm about to say is not just me spewing out what I think. It's not some rant. This is what I know. It's something I know. But I kind of lost my train of thought for a second. What was I about to say? Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, when it comes to the competitive scene on Absolver, and just like many other fighting games, the competitive players want it to be balanced. They want a balance. They don't want too much wonky shit going on because we're all competing to see who's actually better type stuff. And Absolver, we have a lot of wonky shit going on, just like any other game. But that's to a casual player. Casual players play with all that wonky shit going on, and they just play with it and doesn't really they don't think about it. It don't affect them. You know what I mean? But the competitive scene is like they always have these complaints about stuff that's on the game and shit like that. And that's how every single fighting game is. Like there's always the subculture. There's a subculture of people that just it's like I want this shit to be perfect. And then there's a subculture to that, to people that are professional game players. Now these game players, they don't play the game for fun. They play to win. And okay, when I say that, I'm not saying that they're not having fun. I'm not saying that pro gamers don't have fun. Well, of course they're having fun. They wouldn't be playing it. But it's not in the sense that how casual people have fun and regular competitive people have fun. Pro gamers are having fun on a whole nother level. They're thinking about mastering every single fucking thing possible about the game. Everything. So when there's shit happening that's wonky, like with pro gamers, like pro gamers playing Evo and shit, man. These big ass tournaments and shit like Evo and other stuff. I can't really think of nothing off the top of my head, to be honest. I know everybody knows Evo, so I'm using that one. But these niggas playing for like hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars and shit like that sometimes. Playing for money that's going to change their fucking life. Like they're not just playing a game at that point. You know what I'm saying? Like this is stuff that's going to change their life that they're playing for. So that's a whole nother subculture as well, and they want the game to be perfect. They want shit balanced perfectly. So when you play, it's all about who can read better, who's better at the game mechanically, who's better tech wise, who's better at reads. They want the game tight, crisp. The regular competitive scene does too, but it's not like we're playing for no money and shit like that. We ain't playing the shit for money. These niggas playing for hundreds and thousands, 100K and millions of dollars and stuff. So that's why I separate them also into their whole other subculture. But they want that shit to be tight and perfect. I said all this stuff just to say that I feel like when fighting games come out, I think what would make them even more popular is if they make a pro version with it, or try to not make a whole different version of the game, so to speak, but try to like enact some pro version to the game as well. Like you have the regular base game, and then you got the pro version, the more unforgiving version, the more like technically sound version. You gotta be more technically sound. You gotta be more fundamentally sound version. Like the version where one mistake, that you can't make any mistakes, type shit. And some would say probably like, well, Dream, they should make a game like that from the very get go. They should just make their game like that from the start. But see, y'all have to think about this shit on a business level. See, yeah, I agree with that in the thinking on as a gamer. I agree with that. You should just make your game like that from the get go and sell it like that. But it's a business. You know what I mean? Like they're trying to make money. They want people to play the game. They want people to buy it and enjoy it and have fun. Listen, the majority of game players are not going to have fun on a pro version. That's not fun. That's only fun to a certain select people. People that are like that. People that have fun that way. The majority of game players do not play games for that. So for you to make your base game like that, you're only catering to the professional community, and there's only but so much money there. You know what I'm saying? Like only professional gamers are going to buy your game and keep playing your game and buy the DLC and invest into your shit. Like if you make your base game pro, then only pros are going to invest, and everybody's not a pro, so that's going to hurt the business. But I feel like if they get creative and figure out some type of way to release your game, release your base game, and at the same time maybe release a DLC pro version, or come out with the pro version with the base game too. But you just gotta switch it. You gotta switch out in the menu or something. I don't fucking know. Like, I don't know how making games and shit works. I don't know how hard that shit would be for people. I don't know how. I don't know if that's would be economical in the long run. Cause I don't know if that would take more money to do than the actual money they would make back from the game. There's a whole lot of stuff involved with things like that, and I just feel like that's why it's not, stuff like that hasn't been done. It's not like these game developers can't make the perfect game. It's just that, where's the money in that? Is there money in making the perfect game? Because I want to make money off this game every year. I want to keep making money off this shit. If I make it perfect the first time, you know what I'm saying? It's not really too much I can do to it other than that. So it's going to be what it is. And I feel like a perfect fighting game is only going to cater to the professional community, which is not going to, it's not going to really generate as much money. But, my solution to that would be make a pro version. But yeah, that's just my thoughts, man. I was just randomly thinking about that. That's really all I had to say.